This is news and it's time for news. Hello, good afternoon. I'm Siyoko Kwakucha. Welcome to the news. A consultation meeting on how to harmonize policies and programs on youth development in Ghana has been held in Accra. It involved youth agencies and youth groups and the Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta.
Statistics show that youth unemployment rate in Ghana stands at 19.7%. Out of the country's entire youth population, 4,644,268 are employed, while 1,140,009 remain unemployed. 5,960,181 are outside the labor force. To shed more light on the modules, implementation plan, exit strategy, monitoring and evaluation, and the entire structure for the youth program in the country, the National Youth Authority held a one-day consultative engagement with various stakeholders, including youth groups. Speaking at the meeting, the Finance Minister, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, had a word of advice for the youth.
Let's be bold. Let's be excited about the future. Let's be excited about this land that we have been placed in. Let's know that it's for a purpose. Be very determined as to where we want to go, and know that truly this hackneyed phrase about the future is for the youth. It is indeed for you, and your responsibility to create a bigger, better environment, irrespective of whether the system is supporting or not. You got to push, and you'll be amazed at how the light gradually comes in, the door opens, you become more fearless, but ground yourself.
In an interview with GBC News, the Chief Executive of the National Youth Authority, Mr. Pius Enam Hajide, spoke further on the objectives of the consultation.
It is the National Youth Authority's responsibility to, together with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, fashion out the National Youth Policy, which shall inform the operations of the various agencies that work towards youth development. This is the beginning of a long-term arrangement to coordinate and harmonize operations in the youth development ecosystem.
The National Youth Program is anchored on the NYA Act, Act 939/2016.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Madam Shirley Ayokobotwe, has reiterated the need for Ghanaians living overseas to register with Ghana's foreign missions in those countries. This, she says, will help inform the country on steps to take in emergency situations such as the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, which necessitated the repatriation of Ghanaians from Ukraine.
Many of you, I am sure, are aware of the ordeal that many of our compatriots go through, especially the young girls who go to the Gulf states in search of greener pastures. They go there only to find that there's nothing like greener pastures. What they have been promised is not what they are given or what they experience, and they are subjected to a lot of inhumane treatment, because they become house helps, maids in households that they didn't envisage to becoming. Many are promised to be teachers and all of that, and then all of a sudden they find themselves as housemaids, and they are maltreated, mistreated, and raped, and all kinds of things happen, and we have to bring them back home. So some of this, the missions have to deal with these situations. And although we have said that when you get to any country outside Ghana and there is a mission there, which is an embassy, please register. It's extremely important. Because in the event that there is a serious situation, we can account for you and bring you back. Typical example is Ukraine. Many of the students did not register when they got to Ukraine. But then when this war happened, we had to find a way. Thankfully, the nukes was very active, and therefore they helped us to bring back our students.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Madam Shirley Ayokobochwe, says since it became a member of the United Nations Security Council in January, Ghana has been working actively to build international support for its efforts to counter terrorism and violent extremism within the West African sub-region. She said while the Foreign Affairs Ministry and its missions abroad are at the center of those efforts, the Accra Initiative proposed by the President Akufo-Addo is also to help deal with the situation.
Terrorists have taken hold of some countries within West Africa, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and we are very concerned about what is happening in these countries because it has the it could easily happen to us. We've been very fortunate as a country and we haven't had any attacks. But countries, coastal countries such as Benin and Togo and Cote d'Ivoire, we are the only country that we've been very lucky, I must say, that we haven't been attacked in any way. But sometimes it is said that it is a matter of time, but we need to do everything that we can to counter terrorism and violent extremism. So our ministry and our missions abroad are the center of these efforts, and that's what we are doing, especially in ECOWAS, so that we build frameworks with other ministries and also initiatives such as the Accra Initiative, which was proposed by the President, where the coastal countries come together and work together to share information, share intelligence, so that if anything should happen, we nip it in the bud, we catch it very early and deal with it, so that we do not become like Burkina Faso, where half of the country is taken by the terrorists, Mali the same, the central to the upper part of Mali, the northern part is taken by terrorists and the government has no control over it.
And we still well longer with the Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration Minister, Madam Shirley Ayokobochwe, and she says social media has the effect of manipulating information and sharpening social divisions. According to her, this has been complicating the traditional conduct of foreign policies. The Foreign Affairs Minister was speaking at the Gimpa School of Law's third public lecture, which was part of the school's 62nd Law Week celebrations. It was on the theme Diplomacy and Public Service.
The impact of social media. We all know what has happened in the three countries that have experienced coup d'etats in West Africa: Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Mali. And the power of social media, of the people who have the coup makers, basically, to hold the people, and for the people to support them, to use them in a way that the people see it as a must, that they must support them and that they are righting a wrong. As members of ECOWAS, we must only use the ballot box to change governments and not use the gun to change governments forcibly. But social media is so powerful that it is easy to mobilize and to get people behind these coup makers.
The Ghana Broadcasting Corporation Television Training School has graduated another batch of students who underwent 6 months of training in film and television production techniques.
In all, 32 students took the course in graphics, camera, video editing, television production, film and television entrepreneurship, sound and lighting, amongst others. The 6 months training involved classroom work and practical field exposure. This was the 14th batch of students the school has churned out. Some members of the graduating class told GBC News the course has really made them employable.
GBC's training school, trust me, it has pushed me to another level in terms of directing and learning how to handle cameras and other stuff.
It hasn't been easy. For me, this is a dream come true.
Now I can just do my own program, design my own program, and then come and air it myself.
It has been of so much help to me. So I recommend GBC Training School for you.
Because of GBC Training School, I'll be able to acquire camera, graphics, and then all of my video editing.
The chairman of the Film Classification Committee Ghana, Mr. Socrates Safo, told the graduates that, in addition to the professional training, they need to be strategic, creative, disciplined and hardworking to fare well in the film and television industry.
If somebody tells you that the industry, and it depends on how you do it, this is where you should be thinking. How are you going to do it? The first thing you need to survive in this industry is discipline. The second is a classmate. Get ideas. What are you going to do? Today we have the internet. You go on social media, you can create contents there and be making money. You can easily make it in this industry if only you understand. You can make it easily.
Some of the graduates received special awards for outstanding performance in film, sound, production and directing.
The Jasikan College of Education says poor infrastructure is affecting smooth academic work. It said poor structures and lack of furniture coupled with lack of teaching and learning materials are impeding effective teaching and learning, and therefore appealing to the government to address the situation.
Jasikan College of Education, one of the 40 public colleges of education in Ghana, is a teacher education college in Jasikan Buem in the Jasikan district in the Oti region. The college have been bedeviled with challenges caused by inadequate furniture at the various classrooms, dining halls that needs to be upgraded, lack of science laboratory and lack of teaching and learning materials. An auditorium project we started since 2010 has stalled. When completed, the auditorium will have a sitting capacity of 2,500, 18 offices for staff, store and shops. The college also needs a fence wall to deal with threat of encroachers on lands belonging to them. Authorities said the challenges were thought the effort teachers were making to contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, particularly Goal 4, which emphasizes access to quality and equal education. The Jasikan Hinin Nana Ejitetek Pasebrantu is appealing to government and stakeholders to come to the aid of the school with all the urgency it deserves.
College of Education. Omaya bebre. Nanso yesa hia bebre. Enti nania esa medibeka ho any bebia almost regional education office no.
The principal of the Jasikan College of Education, Dr. Daniel Kwesi Hammond, says if all the projects started are completed on time, it will go a long way to help the college.
We have a very huge auditorium lying there uncompleted. I think the completion would solve a lot of problems of the college because we have lecture halls there. We have almost everything that we need to promote academic work.
The Deputy Education Minister, Reverend Jonington Fojo, assured the chiefs and others that government will continue to invest in education and provide quality education.
Jasikan College of Education. Yana Duduana Ekase, it is it is the top among the best. Nansanya Aban selected colleges of education. Yes, see above hostel, the amount of Jasikan College of Education.
The Jasikan College of Education is expected to start its e-library project soon.
The Abutia Novice DA Primary School in the Ho West District of the Volta region has been renovated by the Rotary Club of Ho due to the dilapidated nature of the classroom block. Authorities of the school used to end lessons anytime the clouds form.
Abutia Novice DA Primary School at Abutia in the Ho West District of the Volta region has infrastructure and logistical challenges. The school's classroom block was in a poor state of disrepair. The school also lacks computers and library books to enhance academic performance. The Rotary Club of Ho initially wanted to present some educational materials to the school, but upon realizing that the classroom block was in more serious need of repair, they turned attention to the classroom block. They carried out the project at the cost of 100,000 Ghana cedis. The headmaster of the school, Mr. Selom Dogbe, was full of praise, saying, until the repairs, the building was a threat to the lives of both teachers and the pupils. He also appealed for support in the form of computers to facilitate practical study of ICT. The president of the Rotary Club of Ho, Mr. Eric Borte, said the gesture formed part of the club's mandate to contribute to quality basic education, especially in deprived communities.
Work is officially underway on the construction of the Eastern Regional Office of the Audit Service at Koforidua in the Eastern Region. When he cut the sod for work to start, the Auditor General, Mr. Johnson Ekwamwa, said as part of reforming the audit service, an additional 33 new regional and district offices will be constructed in selected regions and districts to ease pressure on the 72 existing offices of the country's audit service.
The audit service has 12 regional and 68 district offices across the country. Most of these offices are housed in rented premises. As part of efforts to establish its presence across the country, the government has secured an €11 million loan facility from the government of Germany to build 33 new offices in some selected regions and districts. The project will be executed by Hydro Plan Germany, Polytechnica and Project Plus Consult Ghana. The Eastern Regional Minister, Mr. Sethi Champon, reiterated government's resolve to retool state institutions for effective work.
The Ghana Audit Service, being an important part of our governance structure, could not have been overlooked. Hence, the construction of regional and district office blocks for the service. Public accounts of Ghana and of all public offices, including the courts, the central and local government administration, the universities, and other public institutions of like nature, of any public corporation or other body or organization established by an act of parliament shall be audited and reported on by none other but the Auditor General of the Republic.
The Auditor General, Mr. Johnson Ekwamwa, said out of the 33 new offices to be constructed for the service, 6 of the new regions will each have an office. The projects are expected to be completed by the end of 2022.
First, he was a phone repairer. Then he went into gold mining when the phone repairing business took a nosedive. This was another unsuccessful venture, so he resolved to try his luck this time around with shoemaking, and this has turned his fortunes around. This is the story of Francis Zuta, a 46-year-old physically challenged shoemaker, bringing hope to others through his craft. Our reporter, Beatrice Senaju, has visited his mini manufacturing shop.
As fate will have it, Francis Zuta, who is 46-year-old, is physically challenged. He was not born with a disability, but had measles many years ago, hence his condition. As the saying goes, disability is not inability, and Francis has learned a craft and owns this mini shoe making hub here in Kaswa. After trying his hands on many businesses, he sees this as a game changer for him and his family. He briefed me on his humble beginnings.
Through the practice of radio, television servicing, I turned it to mobile phone repairs. So I became a full mobile phone repair, and I was doing that to take care of my 4 children.
His day at the shop begins as early as 7 a.m. Francis started this shoemaking business with 500 cedis. He worked alone for some years and then opened his doors to recruit other physically challenged persons on the street and trained them in shoemaking. He walked the talk in this regard.
When I'm moving or I'm walking on the street and I see these beggars on those kind of things, I feel very bad. Because sometimes you will be moving around and somebody may think you are a beggar, so he want to give you something. Whereas maybe what the person is giving you, you have enough than that. So sometimes you will feel embarrassed. So I say, no, how can I get these people out of the street? So I decided to create something like home for them. I don't have much to do that. So I begin with the sandals making. And then the phone repairs. I begin with that one.
Francis started out with about 20 physically challenged persons learning the craft, but the number has dropped to 5 apprentices. He explained that most of his recruits have faulty wheelchairs, which make it difficult for them to commute to work every day, considering the distance from home to work.
The movement is a problem. The movement, they are up going and coming. Yeah, sometimes when they come like this and it's late, sometimes I have to get them a taxi, something to drop them home. And this place too is not all that kind of busy here. So sometimes your manager gets something small, then you give them something also small to manage for themselves.
Sandals at Francis's shop are on sale for between 50 and 100 Ghana cedis. But even at this price, it is difficult getting customers sometimes.
As at now that I'm talking to you, I'm not looking at the profit, but I'm looking at how to bring people close to me and then teach them the handwork.
Richard Dapa is an apprentice at Francis Zuta's shop. He is also physically challenged and keenly learning the job. To Richard, Francis Zuta is a mentor who has impacted his life and has also changed his perception about his ability as a physically challenged person.
During the lockdown, we find things difficult for ourselves. So tea was not going on, so I'm the hope. And he called me that when the business is not moving anymore, I should come and join him here, so that we're to start something. So that's how I came here and start my learning this most.
These are their challenges.
If you have wheelchair, you can't come. It's difficult, so unless you have somebody to push you. So I'm planning how to raise money and then buy a cement, then do the place and then change the entire environment, either to do some renovation here so that it will be suitable for people with disability.
The story of Francis Zuta is a true reflection of a quote by American retired biker racer, filmmaker and writer Jamie Paulinetti, which reads, "Limitation live only in our minds, but if we use our imagination, our possibilities become limitless." From the above, many people with disabilities show great determination and dependability. Francis is calling all persons with disability to inspire others by changing their story and breaking the glass ceiling. He's also calling on willing organizations to invest or partner with him to expand his business, which will in turn create avenues for persons living with various forms of disability in the country. If you can master one craft as someone who is physically challenged, the sky is a starting point for you, just like Mr. Zuta has done. Knowing one thing and doing one thing very well is a starting point for you. Disability is not inability. Let's come together, learn something, and build ourselves and help our nation grow. For GBC News, Beatrice Sanaju reporting.
It's a popular food in Ghana, but kokonte may not be everyone's favorite. This nutritive food with adequate amounts of protein and little fat has a following. How it came to have many nicknames is anybody's guess. Whether you call it lapiwa, face the wall, cold sweat, blackpool, okbolacha, abitie or gigi, all members of the association get the hint. It is claimed that many Ghanaians survived the famine days of 1983 by the grace of kokonte. And we will now take you on a mouth-watering ride into the world of kokonte.
Kokonte is eaten by various ethnic groups in Ghana, such as the Akans, Gans, and the Hausa-speaking people. But it is a dish that has found favor with the Dangmes. There is a joke that you can take anything away from the dangme, but not kokonte. When served with granite soup or palm nut soup, the presentation looks very tempting and mouth-watering. This dish has the advantage of being less heavy for the stomach. In terms of preservation, kokonte lasts longer compared to fufu. It takes less time to prepare compared to fufu and banku. The base ingredient is cassava flour. First, you put the water to the boil. Then, the cassava flour is poured into it in bits while stirring with a ladle. When the right consistency is achieved, a little bit of strength is needed to smoothen out all unwanted lumps. In terms of patronage, kokonte is in competition with other local dishes like fufu, banku, and omutu.
The kokonte powder produced nowadays is just like fufu. So even fufu lovers settle for kokonte anytime they do not get their favorite meal to buy.
Producers of kokonte powder process it using different techniques for drying the cassava, which makes the kokonte look like fufu after it is prepared.
Because of its character, kokonte offers a strategic bridge between banku and fufu. Its nutritional value is almost at par with its carbohydrate counterparts. Kokonte is the least expensive meal to prepare for the family in Ghana. In an economy where the cost of food is above the average family budget, kokonte can be a savior. Because it is derived from recycled cassava, some people look down on kokonte. This is why some lovers of the meal who buy it in town like to face the wall while eating to conceal their identity. And this is how kokonte earned the nickname Face the Wall. In recent times, however, its popularity has grown in leaps and bounds.
A lot of people love kokonte. It sells fast.
People patronize kokonte a lot.
Those who patronize it believe it has received a raw deal. To them, the dish deserves more credit than it currently receives because it actually is finger-licking good. Lapiwa, Gigi, all the way.
Well, Islamic prayers were on Saturday, 9th April 2022, offered at the Black Star Square in Accra for the body of late Hajia Ramatu Aliu Mahama, wife of former late Vice President Al-Haji Aliu Mahama. Present at the funeral service were the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his wife Samira Bawumia, former President J. Kufuor, First Lady Rebecca Ekufuor-Addo, and the National Chief Imam Sheikh Usman Sharubutu. The Form 1 Federation of Muslim Women Association, members of the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, brothers of the deceased and brothers of her late husband also paid their last respects. A 10-minute silence was observed while the rendition of a portion of the Quran was recited. Her remains have since left Accra for Tamale for interment. Hajia Ramatu Mahama was a daughter of the late Imoro Igala, a minister for trade and industry and first black chairman of Cocoa Board in the First Republic, and a long-standing political stalwart in Ghana through to the Third Republic, Dublin, as a founder of the PNP, now PNC. She had been battling a heart-related sickness for about 2 years now and was taken to the United Kingdom for treatment last year. Family sources say she will be buried by her husband close to their residence in Tamale. A single mother of three, Ms. Dorcas Afre, is appealing to the public to help her raise $7,200 for her daughter to undergo surgery. 6-year-old Kisiwa Japon was born with spina bifida occulta, which led to delayed walking. Kisiwa has no sacrum and coccus, that is the absence of a posterior pelvis. Without the corrective surgery, Kisiwa will be crippled for life.
Kisiwa Ejapon was born with spina bifida, a congenital condition the fetus develops when the expectant mother fails to take folic acids within the first trimester of pregnancy. According to Ms. Dorcas Afre, she carried her pregnancy for almost 2 years before she was delivered of her daughter.
She has been on POP for the first 2 days after she was born. We have been to Duankwanta Orthopedic Center. We have been to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and finally they discovered that she had the spina bifida. She doesn't have sacrum, and her hip joint too, some of the things didn't form properly.
Kisiwa is incontinent, meaning she has no sensation to pee nor poop. Hence, she still wears diapers. Although she is intelligent, no school is willing to take her on.
They don't want to promote her in class. She's very intelligent, but because of her condition, wearing diaper, they don't want to promote her. Even one of the schools, I don't want to mention name, they asked me to send her to special school. And another school too told me that they don't admit disabled in their school.
Kisiwa urgently needs $7,200 for a hip open reduction and internal fixation, as well as osteotomy, otherwise will be crippled for life. The procedure is expected to be done in India.
We are pleading to the government, NGOs, individuals who can help us to do a cochlear surgery for her so that she can be okay as everyone.
Donors who wish to support Kisiwa can do so through the Koforidua branch of the Consolidated Bank of Ghana, accounts name Dorcas Afre, account number 040-00956000001, or through MTN mobile money number 0243-726-902, account name Laurentia Afre. No amount will be considered small.
Still watching News live on GBC News. We'll be back after this short break. Please don't go away. Business trading during the month of March compared to February has been described as relatively favorable for investors. This comes despite the year-to-date change still being in the negatives. The head of research for CDH Securities, Mr. James Afo, made this assertion on GBC News program Market Avenue.
The year-to-date return declined from negative 3.3 to negative 1.67. So I would see, the month of March was better than that of February. Ghana, in particular, is in a very difficult situation. Most of the economic indicators are favorable. Inflation is hovering around 16%. Interest rate on fixed income instruments keep increasing. And so investors' confidence is a bit low, and it is reflecting in what we are witnessing. Whenever interest rate increases, people shift their attention to investment that offers guaranteed return, and it tends to affect the performance of the market. So what we are witnessing is a rapid increase in interest rates in most of the fixed income instruments that we have.
Still on Market Avenue, an economist, Mr. Paul Apiakunedu, said as much as external factors have had a dire effect on Ghana's economy, some solutions highlighted by Dr. Mahmoudou Bawumia were debatable.
Talking about the increase in the debt levels, talking about the constant depreciation of the cedi, talking about inflation, oil price, and all the other challenges that we have. I think he did a very good job trying to justify why we have experienced the percent price increases across markets in Ghana. Now, aside telling us why we are facing the challenges, I think when it comes to the solutions or what government is doing to be able to address the challenges, that is where some of the solutions that he gave probably are not convincing enough. Talking about the high and rising debt levels, I mean, we cannot blame everything on COVID-19, on the energy sector excess capacity charges, and also on the banking sector cleanup.
Still in business, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has proposed a 2-year ban on foreigners buying homes. The measure comes as the country grapples with some of the worst housing affordability issues in the world. Prices have jumped more than 20%, pushing the average home in Canada to nearly $650,000. This is more than 9 times household income. But industry analysts say it is not clear a ban on foreign buyers will address the problem. Data on purchases by foreign buyers in Canada is limited, but research suggests they amount for a small fraction of the market. Analysts say the soaring housing costs reflect strong population growth and a shortage of supply due in part to rules that restrict development. The